What if I told you that everything we have, that we have worked for, that we have accumulated, isn't something we have earned or something we deserve, but something that's been given to us on loan? Why don't we go for a walk and we can talk about it on the walk? So friends, on this Wednesday, I've been thinking about this passage from the Bible. And one of the great myths of our world is the myth that we work so we earn what we have. That all the good stuff that we have in our life is because we worked hard and we deserve it. We deserve to keep it and we use it to add value to our lives, to make our lives good. Now there's a parable in Luke chapter 12. It's commonly called the parable of the rich fool. It's this man who seems to have no friends anymore. He's not a mean person. He's just so self-absorbed with all the stuff that he has that he doesn't have friends anymore. And so he has this huge harvest and he realizes that he's set for life. And he thinks about what to do with all of this. And he talks to himself because he doesn't have anybody else to talk to. And he decides, I'm just going to build bigger storehouses for this grain, and then I can sell it when I need more money. And then he says to himself, after that is done, he says to himself, I can relax now. I've done what I needed to do. It's my turn now to have a good life. I have earned this. And as the parable goes, Jesus kind of tells it in this way. God then speaks and says, you fool, this very night your soul will be demanded of you. And the actual word in the Greek is here, your soul that was given to you on loan will be demanded back. The context here is that nothing that this man has is something he's earned, but everything is given by God as a loan, as something to be administered in a godly way. Now, the background to this parable is this young man who comes and talks to Jesus and asks a question. He says, listen, my brother doesn't want to divide in our inheritance. And Jesus, I deserve my share of my father's inheritance. Could you please tell my brother that this belongs to me? Can you please tell my brother that I am right? Now, Jesus' point after this parable is that we fight over money and possessions. We think about the things that we think we deserve. We see all these things, we store them up, and then we can tell ourselves, oh, now I can relax because I've earned it. But what if all of this is not something we've earned, but something that's given, something that's on loan, something that demands a certain responsibility? Now, hear me well. Jesus is not saying that the problem is that this man wants to enjoy himself. It's okay to enjoy ourselves, and the Bible is okay with us having stuff. But the attitude is what's important. This myth that I've worked for everything I have, nobody has helped me, I deserve what I have, is destructive to our very soul, it's destructive to our very being. So what's the antidote? The antidote is generosity. What's the subtext of this parable is that this man has no friends. He has nobody to talk to, so he talks to himself. What if he would use this wealth to be generous, to show other people goodness? You see, generosity at the very beginning doesn't add value to our lives. It seems like a sacrifice. It's giving away what I have earned, whether it's the time that I have earned or the skills that I have earned or the money I have earned. You know, our possessions are varied. It's not just money. But generosity in the end trains us in the way of Jesus, and it helps us to not see the world as just a means to an end, a means to getting more, a means to having a relaxed life. So what's the answer to the big question of this young man? Jesus, please tell my brother that I deserve this. The answer is, listen, if you let your relationships be affected by possessions, if you start fighting about these things, you've already missed out. Rather, what would a generous life look like? So friends, my prayer for all of us today is that we could live lives of generosity. And this is hard sometimes because it requires sacrifice, but it can be so rewarding because we're bringing the goodness of God into this world. So how can we be generous with our time, with our skills, with our possessions, whatever they may be. May you be blessed this week, and may God give us chances to be generous beyond what we knew we could be. Amen.